Okay, so we're diving into this piece called Decisions, Shaping Your Path to Destiny.
Right.
And, when I was looking this over, it really struck me how it's talking about how these small choices we make can actually
Mm.
lead to some pretty big outcomes later.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just about like making decisions, it's
Uh,
about shaping your future.
Exactly.
That's
And
the
there's a sense of control, almost like we're in the driver's seat of our own destiny.
Yeah, and this whole idea that it's not necessarily those huge life-altering decisions, but it's more about the
Right.
collection of like smaller choices we make
Yeah.
consistently.
Yeah.
Like have you ever thought about that in your own life?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Those tiny little decisions that you're like, yeah, whatever.
Right. Exactly.
And then you look back and you're like, whoa, if I hadn't done that.
It made a huge difference, yeah.
Exactly.
Well, in the excerpt, that it uses this phrase, every choice you make moves you closer to success or failure.
It does. But it doesn't really get into how, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the mechanisms,
Yeah.
like how does that actually work?
Yeah. So unpack that a little bit.
Sure.
Is it habit formation?
I think that's part of it.
Okay.
When you make a small decision consistently, it's like
Yeah.
it becomes ingrained.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So let's say you decide, I'm going to walk for 30 minutes every day.
Okay.
After a while, it's not even a decision.
Right.
It's just what you do.
Yeah. It's just part of your routine.
Exactly. And then over time, that small thing can lead to some pretty significant changes.
In your health, in your, yeah.
In your well-being, absolutely.
It's like that saying, we are what we repeatedly do.
Yes.
It's not about like the grand gestures all the time. It's the little things we choose day in and day out,
It is. It is. And there's also, I think, a sort of momentum.
Okay.
Like each little choice you make builds on the last one.
Interesting.
It's a snowball.
Oh.
So think about it. Like if you decide to learn a new word every day,
Okay. Yeah.
after a year, you've got 365 new words.
Wow. That's a lot of words.
Right. And that opens up new opportunities, new ways of thinking, even new relationships, potentially.
It's like compound interest,
Yeah.
but for like knowledge and skills and I don't know, even confidence. Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thinking about your own goals, is there like a decision that you've been
Mhm.
grappling with lately, something that seemed small, but it could really have a big impact?
What I find really fascinating about this excerpt is it doesn't shy away from
Yeah.
the potential for both positive and negative outcomes.
Well, interesting. Yeah.
Like every decision we make, however small,
Mhm.
there's a degree of risk.
There is. Yeah.
So it's not just about making the right decision.
Right.
It's about understanding that there are consequences.
Yeah. And being willing to learn from the ones that maybe don't
Exactly.
go the way you expected.
Yeah.
That's such an important point. Yeah. It's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's about being like aware and being willing to adjust course.
Exactly.
This excerpt really emphasizes like personal responsibility, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Like we have the power to shape our own destiny.
Right. Yeah.
So if we take that seriously,
Right.
if we really believe that every single decision matters,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you think, what's the biggest, the most impactful decision you've made so far?
Mm.
Like how did that shape your path and bring you to where you are today?
That's a really interesting question.
It is, right? It's like we're the architects of our own lives in a
Yeah.
way. Every choice we make, it's like laying another brick,
It is.
adding to the structure, building something.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
So if you had to choose one area of your life where you really want to see the biggest impact from your decisions,
Mm.
what would it be?
That's a good question for everyone listening, too.
It is.
Think about it. What small decision can you make today
Yeah.
that will move you towards that goal?
What step can you take? It doesn't have to be huge, right?
No, not at all.
Just something that'll put you on that path to creating the future you want.
Exactly.
And that, my friend, is the power of decisions.
It really is.